Do you struggle to lie flat on the ground on your abdomen? Do you know why? Because you have tight hip flexors. Hip flexors are the muscles or group of muscles at the front of your hips. Since they are tight, causing your pelvis to tilt towards the front like this, and that's preventing you to lie flat on the ground. Let me just show you here. To lie flat on the ground, you need more opening in this area of your body so that you can go all the way down. If this area is very tight, it's preventing you from opening or going all the way down on the ground. Let me explain this with the analogy of ball of water. So your pelvis is like ball of water. Let's imagine this is your pelvis. Since it's tilting towards the front, you are shortening this area which is tight, and to lie flat on the ground, your pelvis need to be in the neutral position where front side is not tilting, you are not spilling the water on the ground, it's in neutral position. And observe what just happened. So when I tilt the pelvis towards the front, this is the front strap of your bottom. This front strap of your bottom is going down towards the ground, and you need to lift this up towards your chin to tilt your pelvis. So let's try this as exercise. Bring your hands on your hips and now intentionally tilt your pelvis towards the front, that front strap of your bottom towards the ground. That means your buttocks are lifting up. And if you observe the moment I do that, I'm increasing the arch at my lower back. That's what needs to happen because we are tilting the pelvis towards the front. Now, lift the front strap of your bottom up towards the chin. And the moment I do that, what just happened? There is no arch at the lower back. Feel the sensations at the front of your hips. You might be feeling bit of length or extension in that area. Let's do it 5 more times. Bring your hands on your hips, tilt your pelvis towards the front and then back. What we are trying to do by doing this exercise, we are creating the control over the muscles that are involved in our hip movement. We are creating more awareness and engagement. Keep tilting your pelvis towards the front, but when you do that, you are not moving your torso forward. So torso stays where it is. You tilt towards the front by creating more arch at the back. Then you move, lift your front strap of bottom up towards the chin. You reduce that arch. Keep going 3 more times. Tilt it towards the front, then lift it up to bring it to the neutral position. Keep going. And initially, you may feel it's hard to get the control over the movement of your pelvis because we are not used to doing this. Last iteration, tilt it towards the front and now bring it to neutral position. Come back, release and relax. Walk your legs to release any tension or tightness. Now come on the mat while having 2 blocks handy. If you don't have blocks, I want you to grab few books so that you can create some height. So how much height you want to create? So if 2 blocks are stacked on each other, so roughly 1 block is my 5 fingers together horizontally. So this much height. So 2 blocks is this much height. Grab blocks or books to create that height and lie on your back. Bring your arms at the sides of your hips. Your feet are roughly hip width apart and close to your hips at comfortable position. Then grab your mat or the sides of your mat, and while pressing your feet onto the ground, lift your pelvis up towards the ceiling and come down. Let's do 2 more times. Lift your pelvis up towards the ceiling and come down. One more time, lift your pelvis towards the ceiling and come down. Now this time when you go up, stay there and just pay attention to the positioning of your pelvis. Can you now observe the tilt in your pelvis? Is it in neutral position or it's tilting towards the front? What do you think? To understand this, See, in this position, can you tilt your pelvis, the front strap of your bottom towards the chin? Now, tilt your pelvis, the front strap of your bottom towards your knees. See, the moment you tilt, move the front strap of your bottom towards the knees, you are creating arch at your back. Slowly bring your hips down onto the ground. Let's do that one more time. Move the front strap of your bottom towards your knees. That means you're creating arch at the lower back, tilting your pelvis towards the front. Now, move the front strap of your bottom towards the chin and see how the arch at the lower back disappears. Bring your pelvis down. Now let's do this 3 more times. Now you know how to do it. Lift your pelvis up, tilt your pelvis towards the front and tilt it back. Keep going. Breathe. Don't hold the breath. Feel the sensations at the lower back. Last time, tilt it at the front and bring it back. Slowly lower your hips on the ground. Straighten your legs. Move your legs side by side to release any tension or tightness. Now let's do the next exercise of placing blocks underneath our pelvis to create more flexibility at the front of our hips. Slide the blocks underneath your hips. So roughly you're placing the blocks at the top of your hips where the spine ends, and create the height to the extent where you can lift the pelvis up. So I have placed a flat block at this point. Then if this is going well, you can tilt the blocks at its side. Place your pelvis or hips on top of it. If this is alright, then place 2 blocks on top of each other to create more height. And now before you place hips onto the blocks, you want to move the front strap of your bottom towards the chin and then place your hips down onto the blocks. Now slowly straighten your leg, one leg at a time. You might feel the sensation at the front of your hip. That's exactly what we want. If it is too intense, then bend your leg slightly. Go till the point where you are maintaining the intensity of the stretch to medium or slightly higher. And how do you know if it is medium or slightly higher? You should be able to breathe. You are not holding your breath. Your jaw is relaxed. You are not clenching your teeth. And if you can maintain this position for a minute or two, that means you are not overstretching. If this is going well and you want to increase the intensity, then straighten the opposite leg. Straighten both the legs. Feel the length that you are creating at the front of your hips. You are lengthening your hip flexors. That's exactly what we want here, improving the flexibility at the front of our hips. Breathe, don't hold the breath. If you feel that your alignment is not correct, then feel free to bring your feet back onto the ground, adjust the alignment, tilt your pelvis, and then straighten your legs. We'll stay here for 5 more breaths, normal breaths. If you can do deep inhale and slow exhale, then that's preferred, because by doing that, you inform your nervous system that everything is good, everything is under control, there is no danger. Though I'm creating the stretch at the front of my hips, it's okay. Otherwise, your nervous system thinks that this part of your body which is being stretched is under danger, and it will try to shorten it more, contract it more, exactly opposite to what we are trying to achieve here. So I repeat, relaxed breathing. If we can do deep inhale and slow exhale, then that's preferred. To improve the flexibility, you want to create the stretch on that part of your body to the extent where you can hold the stretch for a minute or two and in a relaxed manner. And that's what important in relaxed manner. Sometimes you can hold the stretch by overstretching, by forcing yourself, but that's not relaxed. Slowly bend your legs, bring your feet together. Let's do this one more time. And if you are unable to do both the legs, straighten both the legs, then you are doing it one leg at a time. Okay. So choose your option. Either you're straightening opposite leg now or you're straightening both the legs again. And this time, when we are in the pose, we'll do two deep breaths. Let's first do complete exhale to do deep inhale. Hold the breath for a moment and slow, under control exhale. When you finish, one more time, deep inhale, followed by slow exhale. Slowly bend your legs. Bring the soles of your feet onto the mat. Lift your hips higher to remove the blocks. Lower your hips under control on the ground and straighten your legs. Stay here for two breaths. Feel free to wiggle your legs side by side. Maintain the natural breath. Now turn to your side and gently come up. Take support of your hands when you come up. Be very slow and come to the kneeling position. And if you have any chair at home, then grab it. If you don't have a chair, don't worry about it. I will show you the variation. So come to the kneeling position and bring your foot at the front. So your right foot is at the front. Angle between your thigh and shin is roughly 90 degrees. While maintaining your hands on the hips, or you can place them on the chair, move forward and come back, move forward, come back. Positioning of your hands depends on what suits you. If you want more support and if putting hand on the chair gives you more support, then do that. Otherwise, maintain the hands on your hips, come back, maintain the breath, don't hold the breath, go forward, come back, change. Let's do the opposite side. Bring your left foot forward. Pay attention to the angle between your thigh and shin. Bring your hands onto the thigh or adjust the chair. Then go forward, come back. 4 more pulses here. Keep doing. Do the same number of iterations that you did at the opposite side. If you don't remember, that's okay. Let's do 4 more here. 2, 3, 4, and slowly come back. to kneeling position. If this is intense on your knee, then just fold your mat like this and place your knee on top of it when you bring your foot forward. That allows you to have a bit more cushion for your knee, or you can grab any pillow at home or the thick bed sheet underneath your knee to have more support. Let's do last exercise of our day to improve the flexibility at the front of our hips. So from kneeling position, just like we did earlier, bring your foot forward, but this time slightly more towards the right, and pull a chair more towards you. Then while maintaining the angle between your thigh and shin is roughly 90 degrees, similar to what we did, go forward, keep going forward, take support of chair to place your hands so that you're creating more length at the front of your hips. Make sure you're not arching your lower back. Keep lifting the front strap of your bottom up towards the chin so that you create more length in your hip flexors. And let's take 3 deep breaths here. Get settled with your breath. Relax your jaw, relax your face. Doesn't matter the positioning of your arms, bring it to the position where you can take support to create length at the front of your hips. When you are ready, take deep inhale. Fill your lungs with the air. Hold and slow exhale. When you finish, one more breath. Last breath, you're doing so well. One more time. Deep inhale. Slow exhale. When you finish, slowly come back to kneeling position and let's do the opposite side. So I have just placed my forearms onto the seat of the chair. You can hold the chair to go forward. So it doesn't matter. You can place your hands onto the seat of the chair or you can place your forearms. Find the position where you are creating the length at the front of your hips. You are moving the buttocks forward, your hips forward. Get settled with your breath. We are going to take 3 deep breaths here. So if your intensity of the pose is very high and if you feel you can't hold in the pose, then just reduce the intensity so that you can hold it for 3 deep breaths. Take deep inhale followed by slow exhale. 2 more times. Make this a last breath. Deep inhale. When you finish, slowly come back to kneeling position and sit in cross leg position. Sit upright, sit tall. Bring your hands to your chest in prayer position. Close your eyes. Connect with your breath. Take this opportunity to thank yourself for being engaged in the practice to improve the flexibility in your hip flexors. Celebrate this small win of your day with gentle smile on your face. Namaste and thank you. Slowly open your eyes, release your hands onto your thighs. See you next time. Until then, keep being your best self.